So we have the 4th overall pick. We're in a position to get ourselves someone who can really make a difference for us. And thank God the Lakers made some trade and then they ended up losing their pick, so we got to keep this one, which is different than what happened in real life. But anyway, we're going to look at some of the top prospects in this upcoming draft, and we're just going to see who would actually make the most sense for this team with this 4th overall selection. Now, it seems that the top prospect is Marvin Bagley III, who has gotten comparisons to Kevin Garnett for his athleticism, as well as being a two-way player. The guy received a scholarship at like 14 years old or something ridiculous like that. He's been heralded by NBA scouts for quite a while, and he seems like a generational talent. I highly doubt that Bagley is going to fall all the way down to number 4. Probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, and so as a result, it would be great to have him. He could play the center position next to Aaron Gordon, but that's probably not going to be the thing. He'll probably end up on the New York Knicks with the number 1 overall pick, and it makes sense because the big man spot next to Porzingis, I mean, Hernangomez is cool, but Bagley just seems to be a whole different stratosphere of player. Also, Carmelo Anthony's on the Kings. You know what we're going to do when the start of the new season comes? Let's trade Melo to some team that's actually trying to win right now, because that's what would happen in real life. We'll talk about that one later, I guess. Now on to the Brooklyn Nets, who have the 2nd pick. They should just go for the best player available looking at that roster, and that would be Moses Brown, another big guy who I would love to have here, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. He has point guard abilities, but he's 7 feet tall. Shows a real skill of putting the ball on the floor, beating guys off the dribble, and he's also supposed to be a hell of a playmaker. And he and Aaron Gordon next to each other, that could be something. I mean, Gordon's averaging 4.5 assists right now, then you would have Brown's passing 2. The offensive potential for that would be pretty damn high, but he also is decently athletic. They've compared him kind of to like Tyson Chandler with the way he moves around the floor, but way more skilled. He also shows an ability to score inside on the low block, and he's also a strong rebounder. And then there's the Memphis Grizzlies. I have no idea why they have the 3rd pick. Looking at that roster, like, that's pretty good. You got Conley and Gasol still doing their thing. For some reason, they only won 27 games, and there was not a significant injury. I could see them going with Zion Williamson, number 3. He seems like a not as good LeBron James, who, he's just strong as hell, is the best way to put it. And we could potentially have a chance at him. I mean, I could see him dropping 1 spot. The thing with him is, though, he can't shoot, and we do not need any more guys who can create for themselves but can't shoot. We really need some shooting on this team. Now we can talk about us with the number 4 overall pick. There's 2 perimeter players. One of them is Cameron Reddish, who's a small forward or a shooting guard. He's got good size at 6'7". He's pretty strong, and he doesn't have one ability that just drastically stands out, although his ability to attack inside might be that one thing. He just seems like he can grow into an overall really strong player, which is good, but I think, given that it's going to take him a minute with his shooting as well, I think Romeo Langford would be the right choice for us. Potentially the best shooter in the draft. Seems to be a guy who can come in right away and hit from the 3-point line, create his own offense, be effective from mid-range, provide spacing. He can play off of Elfrid Payton. He'll also make Elfrid Payton's day a lot easier. Now, I know we have Josh Richardson already at the starting 2-guard spot. I mean, Langford's just flat out better. His offensive potential is way higher, and that would give us probably 2 real scorers with him and Tatum, because I've already said I don't think Aaron Gordon is like a 20-point scorer for us. If we have Langford and Tatum, that could be the scoring duo we really need. And remember, we also have the 12th pick as well, and the guy I'm looking at there is Manute Bol's son, and I'm going to presume that his name is pronounced Bol. He's tall as hell, decently athletic, shows a real ability of protecting the rim, and given that Biyombo's contract does not have too much time on it, he's got 1 year left because I assume he's going to accept the $17 million player option, You know, I like Marquise Bolden, but maybe Bull would be the guy who could actually become the starter for us at the center position. But there are questions about how strong of an overall player he can be and if he can defend outside of the paint. If we look at the mock draft, these guys think Cameron Reddish is going number 4. I'll definitely draft Langford over him. Trae Young, I mean, he's a nice, like, TJ McConnell type of point guard. He's a better shooter, but he's towards the bottom of the lottery. And these guys actually think Moses Brown would fall to us. If either one of the big dudes fall to us, we should go with one of them immediately. Now, I know some people might say, well, why don't you trade both of your picks to move up? Teams don't trade their picks when they have, like, generational talent entering, you know, the NBA, and they're probably going to be able to draft that guy. So I'm not going to do the same thing here. I'm not going to screw over the CPU because 2K doesn't know what the hell it's doing. I think Langford could make a lot of sense because we're still not that good of an offensive team. And Elfrid Payton, if he ever becomes a shooter, it's going to be a while. I think Langford makes a lot of sense for us. And we need scoring and shooting, man. And he kind of does both. And I think he could step in and immediately be like a spot shooter. And then in time, he could be creating his own shot. I think he would also be great with Aaron Gordon because, like you just saw with Richardson, Langford can do that stuff while Gordon is in pick and rolls and then kick it out to him for threes and all that stuff. So yeah, that's probably the route we should go, man, you know? We get one guy with the 4th pick, and then we can get another guy with the 12th pick who we can hopefully at least be somewhat excited about, even if it's going to take a little bit longer for that guy to really become something. So yeah.